public should know how many deals are being cut, how many charges are being dropped, who's making those decisions, and why are those decisions being made.
Here at 5, Louisville Republicans want to track certain decisions local judges are making in the city's criminal cases. Critics of Louisville's judicial system say it routinely lets violent offenders out too easily. But former judges worry proposals like these are political and involve people who don't understand what goes on in the courtroom. Isaiah Kim Martinez and photojournalist Emma Gefter have reaction to this idea of a judicial scorecard, along with other policies Metro Council members pitched today to combat violence.
The memorial still sits at 10th and Chestnut Streets nearly a month after the deadly JCPS bus stop shooting that motivated so many in the city to seek answers to Louisville's violent crime. A few blocks down the road, Republican Metro Council members are looking directly at the city's judicial system.
And if LMPD is going to have this level of scrutiny, we should be scrutinizing those that are taking the charges from LMPD and what decisions are they making before it gets to the judiciary.
Councilman Anthony Piagentini, alongside his Republican colleagues, are proposing the creation of a judicial scorecard that would track rates of early release from jail and shock probation. He says it's for citizens to better understand the role judges play in keeping violent offenders off the streets. But retired Circuit Court Judge Charles Cunningham worries there could be other motivations.
That somebody's going to try to paint somebody a certain way, and they've just got an agenda. And their agenda is they don't want independent judiciary. They want a judiciary that's beholden to someone other than the voters. Here's a crazy thought. Talk to some judges, but they probably didn't do that.
Right next to the Louisville courthouse is the old youth detention facility, now under renovation. The sidewalks could be closed for a couple more years. That's according to Councilman Kevin Bratcher, who shed some light on further delays in reopening Louisville's Youth Detention Center.
Department of Juvenile Justice needs to be up here, pretend like it's a dam getting ready to break and flood the whole city.
There's bipartisan support to get the youth jail back open as soon as possible, though the state says that's not projected to happen until 2027. Here's Councilman Ken Herndon, a Democrat representing downtown.
The time is now. The time is right now. That's been closed for too long. The kids in trouble are sitting in Adair County, way away from their families and support systems. That's wrong.
According to the state, once completed, the center will have 64 beds and will house high-level male offenders. It's all part of a desperate search for solutions to violence the stats show is down, but for most in the community, it's still far too high. Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS11 on your side.
And Councilman Herndon also announced that he's filed a resolution that, if passed, would urge Kentucky lawmakers to allow Louisville to pass its own local gun laws. Speaking of which, we're taking a closer look at the numbers. LMPD has said violent crime is trending down, but the number of juvenile crime cases not falling as fast so far this year. LMPD says there have been 37 shooting victims under 18 years old. That is down from more than 50 this time last year, but overall in Kentucky, the state is not leading the pack in gun reform. Everytown Research gave Kentucky a 9 out of 100 for gun safety regulation. The rate of gun deaths in Kentucky outpaces the national average, with a rate of 18 out of 100,000 people dying from gun violence in the state. And we've seen young people are leading the charge to reform those gun laws. Last week, students at Manual High School and Indianapolis Public Schools joined a nationwide walkout. Students chanted "No more guns" and held signs demanding a ban on assault rifles in the U.S. In Indy, students took a bus to the Indiana State House to join other Hoosiers protesting the same thing. Well, take a look at this video captured by Louisville firefighters during their response to a fire in the Shawnee neighborhood. It happened this morning around 5:45 in a vacant two-story apartment building off South 41st Street. Now, believe it or not, no one was injured in this fire. 32 firefighters, though, helped get it under control and prevent damage to surrounding properties. All right, we want to go over to meteorologist Mark Johnson, and you called this the fake fall. Is that what you called this, Mark?
Fake fall. Fake fall, indeed. It's just a teaser. Here I am. Just a teaser. Fall will give way to more summer-like temps again as we head toward the weekend. Currently 80 degrees. The humidity is at 32% right now. Very, very low, a dew point at 48. So we're enjoying this hint of fall. Still 12 days until fall officially begins on the 22nd of this month. So currently we've got some upper 70s. Downtown Louisville sitting at 84, 80 at the airport, 79 in Bowman and Fern Creek. A wider view across the viewing area, you can see 70s and 80s. Again, if you can get outside and just sit down on a patio somewhere and enjoy a little beverage, you're going to enjoy this kind of weather for the evening hours. Louisville, where's the clouds? Cirrus and cumulus to our south and to our north. More cumulus clouds there with a few thunder showers, but they're moving away. So we're going to stay dry all the way probably until Sunday, the way things are looking now. So your evening, how's it looking? At 7 p.m. we're at 77 degrees, 71 at 9. Sunshine turns into moonshine overnight tonight. 67 at 11. You're in bed at 1 a.m., but it's still comfortable at 64. And we're going to wake up tomorrow morning generally in the 50s. Lower 50s to middle 50s outside the city lights. Louisville, 57 to 59 degrees. Again, get up and go. Tomorrow's high, about 85. And then we'll warm you up closer to 90 just in time for the Bourbon and Beyond Festival. More on that coming up.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, Mark. 3 people are now in police custody and bound for Shelby County, charged with murder of 58-year-old Tim Ethington in his own home. Louisville Metro Police found one suspect, Rodney Isgrig Jr., on city streets, but the other 2 suspects, Jeremiah James and Madison Greenwell, were arrested in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, outside of Nashville. Police there found them after license plate readers flagged the 2 inside a reportedly stolen vehicle. Shelbyville police say James and Greenwell are actually suspected for a separate burglary within Shelbyville city limits. Police believe the trio was attempting to rob Ethington when it went south.
From what we've gathered, there wasn't a lot of items taken from the residence, so it's a very, very senseless act of violence that the community just wants to know why.
Ethington's neighbors say his Spring Oaks Estates home was swarmed with visitors after his body was found on August 20th, a testament to how loved he was in the community. A group of volunteers are at the Eastern Cemetery right now cleaning up after someone vandalized gravestones. The Jeffersonville police were called to the cemetery on 8th Street where heavy-duty equipment was used to put the headstones back in place. The board president believes it was a group of people who did this, as some of the stones are hundreds of pounds. Michelle Jackson from Charlestown Monument says that the vandalism is heartbreaking for these families.
Sad and aggravated. I just, because I've been doing this since 2012 and people really put a lot of heart into making these stones. It's not as simply as putting a name on there. They think about it because they come out here to remember their loved ones, so they make it exactly the way they want it.
Now, if you saw anything or might have video that could help police, you can call the Jeffersonville Police Department at 812-218-TIPS. The Kentucky Performing Arts Center recently lost $100,000 in a ticket resale fraud tied to the Broadway musical Wicked. Now, prosecutors said someone from Nigeria, now living in Ireland, purchased dozens of tickets using stolen credit card numbers and resold them on StubHub. When credit card companies demanded refunds, this forced the Kentucky Performing Arts to cover the losses. The suspect was arrested last week in Grayson County and is charged with wire fraud. There's a new permanent driver's license office now open in Bardstown. It's just 2 miles away from the temporary office that opened last July. It's located on Guthrie Drive next to the Nelson County Justice Center. Transportation officials say this will help with the long lines that we've seen in recent months. Walk-ins are welcome, but you're advised to schedule an appointment. Makes it a lot faster. We've got a link to do so in this story on our website. A new ordinance could make it easier for lost pets to reunite with their owners. Councilwoman Donna Purvis and Councilman Andrew Owen filed an amendment to the current animal ordinance. The change would require pet owners to microchip their dogs and cats. Microchips are tiny devices placed under a pet's skin, helping shelters and vets to identify owners and contact them. The new ordinance would also require owners to update their information within 30 days if they move or change phone numbers. This is set to be discussed during Metro Council's public safety meeting tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Protests in Indianapolis against a Google data center. People worried electric companies are putting profits over the people they serve. Next, we're going to take a closer look at that fight over energy use. And the groundbreaking for a brand new JCPS school building to replace a building that's been in PRP for more than 100 years. And here's a look at your Kentucky Lottery numbers. Mega Millions, 358 million and 33 million is the package.
The Kentucky Lottery, funding education for over 1 million Kentucky students.